It's the circle of life.
Right, it's time for the intro. It's time for the intro.
Wait. Throughput technology.
It's time for the intro.
Seriously? Okay.
Go, it's rolling.
What? Okay. Hi, my name's Brian Combrink, and today we're taking a look at the amazing creative EVO ZxR for Evetech TV, bringing it to you. And can we do a retake, please?
No.
What? So, as you heard with a terrible intro, today we're doing the Sound Blaster Creative EVO ZxR. Yes, indeed. It's currently the flagship for Creative, and it's one of the awesome headsets with built-in sound card. Now let's just take a closer look and we can go through the smaller things. So as you can see, the form factor is really nice. I like the red color, and you know, it looks like a proper, you know, headset a DJ or a musician or essentially a gamer or whatever can wear and really like pull some eyes. As you can see, it has some really, you know, good quality plastic and some metal fittings. The extender is with stainless steel, as well as it has some great memory foam like ear covers, which fits in really tightly with your head. And so it's really nice and light. Doesn't smell like fly off your head. It just sticks really well. As well as one up here, which is great for gaming. Wearing these things long hours will be deadly if it was heavier than it is. And you know, as I know with some other headsets, I have felt the pain. In any case, let's take a look at the side over here. As you can see, there is a SPX button, which is next to the power on button, which you hold in a bit to turn the thing on. The SPX activates the sound card, the built-in sound card, and the selected profiles. Now this is great because, you know, it's not just like a normal Dr. Dre headset or some other thing like Sennheiser or whatever that just plugs in and then has to deal with a thing without a sound card. This gives you great sound wherever you go. You select it with that, and you know, besides that, it also has you know, different ways of connecting to it. So it has Bluetooth, NFC to activate the Bluetooth. It has USB and of course the normal analog plugs. So yeah, if your phone rings, for example, and it's connected via Bluetooth, you can just like press it there to answer, which is great. It then cuts out your music and you can quickly talk with, of course, the great microphones, which I'll get into right now. And then afterwards the music would resume. Yeah, and there's also a little volume knob over here. I don't know if you can see it there, which is also really handy. Everything's on this. It's like almost a full package, which makes it great. You don't need like 10 headsets. You've got like one for everything: music, video, gaming, you name it. So you know, there's the skipping buttons, which is also on the right-hand side of the headset. And then just going into a few other things, the microphone. You can see over here it has a dual mic, which has voice focus beamforming technology. Now what this does is it gives you, you know, ultra clear voice with things like TeamSpeak, talking to someone on the phone, etc. Which is great, and you know, I'm not quite sure how it works. It's pretty amazing because, you know, normally it has that lapel mic that comes up front, but this time around it has you know, only these two. So I'm guessing there's some type of acoustic magic, some toerderij, if you know what I mean. It gets that. I'll test it a bit later and we can see what it does. So in terms of the great little travel case, which is really handy. The smaller models, the wireless one, but without the 50mm speakers, which I'll also explain now, comes with just like a bag, and the wired one doesn't come with anything. But this one comes with a nice little travel case, which is also, it just goes to show you can sort of take this anywhere. Down here at the bottom, it has these two connections. That jack input over there can split and go to your computer or your, you know, your phone or whatever. It also has a USB for charging and you know, plugging into the computer control panel, etc. It has 8 hours battery life, which is great for something with like a built-in chip in the sound card, etc. So it's pretty okay if you go out for the day. You can come back home, plug it into your computer, play a nice game while it charges then again. To get the 7.1 surround sound they have on this, you need to plug it into your computer with a cable. You can't connect it via Bluetooth. Like say if you have a laptop, you can connect it, but then it's only stereo. If you want the 7.1 surround sound, you're going to have to use the input jack. But I mean, that's fine. If it's at a desktop, it's not a big deal usually. So then I guess lastly we can go into these two small buttons over here, which is the ANC, acoustic noise cancelling, and the TT, a talk through button. So what the ANC does is it listens to the environment around you with the two microphones and then cancels out all the noise. If you're a busy place like an aeroplane or a train or something, or just a public place, and you want to listen to your tunes or watch a movie or something on your tablet, this really can help with that. As well as talk through, which is in the case that you are indeed listening to something and someone wants to speak to you, instead of removing your headset, you can just press that. The sound you're listening to then mutes itself and you can hear what they're saying and then go on, of course, after that without even removing the headset from your head. All right, yeah, so it's a nice light headset with some awesome features, possible to use in most anything. And yeah, let's go into a bit of the handling, smaller little features. So while we have the chance, let's quickly take a look at the box and then some of the cables and peripherals that came along. As you can see, it's pretty much a normal box that you'd expect with the features at the back and all the other things. Just some branding, and then of course also a box inside with some international AC adapters, which you can then use when you travel. But I want to talk about the cables. All right, so we've got gold-plated everything, which is awesome. The jack to jack, of course, goes from the headset to either this, which plugs into the back of your desktop with the audio cable and the microphone cable, or it can go to this little thing, which is great for laptops. So this would go right in there and stick into the side of your laptop. I just dropped something. Which is cool if you don't want to have like a whole extra cable with you. Besides that, we've got the USB cable over here, which is also really good quality. Everything's got this red theme, which I kind of like. Normally, micro USB we've got here, which plugs into the charger, which connects to whatever adapter you'd want to use. But you also need to plug this in to use the headset with a control panel on the desktop. So that's pretty important also to keep in mind. Of course, also the charger. So once this 8 hours is gone, you're going to plug this in at your desktop and use it with a 7.1 surround sound, hopefully, and get that full audio awesomeness. Besides that, we've got the documentation thingy here, and just normal stuff, as your warranty and manual and that. Okay, so next up we're going to do the mobile application. Let's go straight into that. So I've got my HTC One here, and I'm going to run the Sound Blaster Central application. Now, for this to work, okay, so there I've got it. For this to work, I need to activate my NFC, which I believe is already activated, yeah. And then let's just get the headsets off. So these are turned off at the moment. Hold them in for a while to turn them on. It's like 5 seconds or something. Come now. There we go. So it takes a while to boost because of the sound card. And so once the NFC is turned on, this you would then hold. Okay, so there you can see it just said connecting to, activating Bluetooth. Bluetooth device connected to SB EVO ZxR. Okay, they loaded it. So let's go to devices. Okay, so once it's NFC picked up, it activates your Bluetooth automatically and then takes you to this screen, which you can see I'm now connected to that. This will end your connection. No thanks. And within this application, there's a bunch of features. It's going to load now. Once the headset is actually connected, it adds new features. Got your settings in your Bluetooth. That's just the devices. This is like general connection settings. But let's just give it a second to load. So it is pretty much plug and play. I mean, everything's really simple. Just connect the NFC, automatically enables and pairs the two devices. You've got your battery here, which says like how far you've got. Got your crystal voice activation. It can give you noise reduction or like a deep voice if you want to prank your friends. There's a few other things like the SPX profile we spoke about earlier, that little button over there. This gives you like the option to edit the music, movies or gaming settings for the sound card to actually get the most out of what you're doing at that time. Besides that, there's a few other applications you can use. You've got the SB remote, Sound Blaster remote, connected. So with this application, you can really, change all of the settings you would be able to change on the desktop application, the one we're going to look right after this, which is pretty handy if you are on the road and you want to set up like profiles and that. So yeah, that's pretty. There's like 4 connection methods: USB, input jack, Bluetooth, and then NFC, which then enables that all. Also, while we have it, let's use it and practice a bit because it's an awesome headset, why not? It's connected via Bluetooth at the moment, as we did earlier, so I'm going to play a song on here. Now, for practicality, let's do this. So the volume knob over there boosts the volume really nice and loud. It actually has some reach as well, so you can play a song for people in the room. It's not going to be like uber clear, but I mean, it's still amazing for like a headset that's on batteries that lasts 8 hours. So, of course, if you put it on your ears, it's going to sound amazing. So then over here, you've got your skip, and it's going to start playing another song. And we've got our ANC technology, which is if I put this on my head now, and the cameraman talking, in fact, I can't really even hear myself. So, whereas if I put it off, I can now, I can actually hear myself. Oh my soul, this thing's amazing. What the hell? On it there again. Testing. Whoa, it really works. You have to feel this for yourself. All right, and then there's the talk through button, which I'm gonna try now. Speak to me.
Hello.
And then I can hear the people. And then if I press it again, start playing again. So that's pretty cool for if someone wants to speak to you and you're busy gaming and you're like, no, leave me alone. Just put it on and you hear what they want to say. So I want to take it off now because I want to hear my voice. That's amazing. I mean, the acoustic noise cancellation technology really works. So I think it's actually on music profile now, but you can of course set it on gaming or movies or whatever you want. And to, of course, let the sound card handle that better. Let's just quickly pause the song. So, as I said earlier, there are some nice extension things here at the side, and it rotates really well. So if you have it across your neck, you can play it like that. And if you have a larger head, also really easily adjust that for comfort. And I mean, it's really light, which is awesome for, long hours in front of the computer. If you're doing music, gaming, whatever, you really want something that's light enough to stay on there and not bother you. Really comfortable with the memory foam, snugly fitting. So all in all, I mean, it's an amazing experience listening to any form of sound on this. Also, I forgot to mention that the mobile application runs on any platform. So you might want to keep that in mind. Tablets, iOS, Android, you can just load it up there, so most things will be able to handle it, which is great because a lot of new things are also coming out, new phones and tablets also coming out with NFC, near field communication, which is automatically going to pair your device and get the Bluetooth on and get that all working. So all in all, it's really for anything. You can use this with your home computer, you can use it at a gig if you're a musician or DJ or something. You can use this as a gamer, LANing, also at your desktop, just listening to music in the car or on the train or whatever. It's really going to cover all of that. It has the full scope of what you would probably use a headset for in day-to-day life and for hobbies and the likes. Alright, so lastly, let's quickly go into the PC application and check that out. And then it's bon voyage. So, PC application next.
Okay, so MVC here, and today I want to go through the Sound Blaster EVO ZxR control panel. Now, I always recommend when you are buying a new headset, you head over to the manufacturer's website, which in this case is creative.com, to download the latest drivers and firmware just so you're up to date from the get-go. But once installed, this is what you're greeted with. We've got a battery level in the upper right, which is charging via USB, and the menu next to that, and in here we can restore everything to default if we make a mistake, update the software, and change the language if we need to. But what's important is the SBX profile. We've got 3 to choose from. We've got gaming selected, and under here we've got surround, crystallizer, bass, smart volume, and dialogue plus. Now, surround is virtual surround. It will change from game to game. You need to adjust this and check it for yourself, but I found a value of 20% work well across the board. Crystallizer is to restore portions of sound loss during compression, in other words, to make things sound livelier, and I found a value of 34% across the board to sound very well here. I always turn off any additional bass because when I'm playing competitively, I want to be able to hear footsteps, but it's nice to have if you are playing a single player game and you want to hear the explosions, you can actually turn the bass up. Smart volume tries to normalize the volume. Again, I have this turned off because I use TeamSpeak, and if someone's speaking quietly, I want them to be quiet, and if someone's speaking loud, I want them to be loud. But again, it's a nice option to have if you're playing a 1v1 game, for example, you want to hear footsteps across the map. This is going to try and increase everything to a normalized level, so that's a nice thing to have. And finally, Dialogue Plus, which comes in handy for movies. But if we go down and click Crystal Voice, we can see here we've got a microphone volume. I actually have it set to 35%, and it's actually quite a loud microphone, which is nice. Sometimes you get a too quiet microphone. But under Crystal Voice, we've got FX. We can have a number of ones to change our voice, and we've got noise reduction. Now, I always recommend you have this on. This takes into account in noise reduction, acoustic echo cancellation, and focus. This basically will eliminate any background noise or attempt to. Anything constant, so your PC fan, maybe your ceiling fan, anything that's a constant noise. So that's a nice feature to have. Now, under headphones, we've got a virtual 7.1 surround sound and our mixer. And the only important one here is under the mixer, we want to drag this one to 100%. So when you are streaming or recording yourself playing, it doesn't matter what you've got this one set to here, you're always going to be recording at 100% system volume, which is what you want to have, so it's not too quiet for your viewers. But yeah, this is the control panel. This is what I've got set up, and I find this works very well. And finally, again, I didn't mention it, but you've got the equalizer. I like a flat EQ curve, but again, it's nice to have so you can adjust this. And the lower end is the bass, the higher end is the treble, and this is your overall volume. But yeah, experiment and have fun.
So, thanks for joining us in taking a look at the Sound Blaster EVO ZxR by Creative. If you want any more specifications like ohms and frequencies and that likes, you can check the description for a link to Creative's product page and check that out with your own opticals. So, seeing we only have a day left with this baby, I'm gonna go listen to some music. Bon voyage.
The Savage.